Okay, calm down.
Cop City is a giant police training facility that they are trying to build where the Atlanta forest currently is. And this is the largest forest of any major city in the country. It's very ecologically important for the air quality in the city, to make sure flooding doesn't get even worse. It's a nice green space. It's in a Black working class neighborhood. People's kids play there. They're trying to cut down these trees and build a giant mock city for the cops to practice killing people in. There's a lot of different things that are supposed to go on that spot, but that includes what is essentially a mock Black neighborhood, complete with a club and a gas station and all the places that cops usually interact with civilians in only the friendliest of ways, I'm sure. But no, this is basically a police militarization facility where they are going to practice using military technology, robot dogs, all kinds of fucked up shit we don't even know they have, probably, to put down the next George Floyd uprising or any kind of urban insurrection scenario. And it's going to train cops from all over the country and even places as far-flung as Israel.
And they've already killed a protester.
Yes, they killed Tortuguita. Manuel Terran was their real name. Tortuguita was their forest name. That is something that is still being investigated. Very bad, very sad. I was but Tort's mom and brother have since joined the movement, and I was hanging out with them the last time I was down in Atlanta, and they are, they're keeping up the fight. They're carrying on the fight that Tort first started, and I don't think that we can. I don't think we should send the cops the message that killing somebody works. So we really need to just go that much harder now. But in addition to killing a peaceful protester who was sitting cross-legged on the ground in their tent, riddled with something like 40 bullet holes in a multi-agency raid. It's hard to know what actually happened there. It's possible that the cops just all freaked each other out. They like horses with guns. They get startled and they freak out. But they have also arrested over 40 people now, are facing these ridiculous domestic terrorism charges just for being there. Obviously, these are not legitimate, and I don't think they're going to hold up in court, but it is still a scary thing to have happen. They have also beaten a number of people very badly, such as during the raid on the music festival during the second to last week of action in Atlanta, where they just started snatching people up and charging them with terrorism for being there. They beat some people really badly. Even one guy to the point where they didn't even arrest him afterwards. They just let his friends take him to the hospital. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with on the repression side of things.
And anything new happening? Any announcements that you want to make? Also, I would love to have Tort's relatives on the show.
Yeah, they're great. You should. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. So one arm of this very multi-dimensional movement composed of many different groups and individuals is a referendum. So I am actually really impressed that they managed to get all these signatures. The campaign to get a referendum on the ballot to let the people of Atlanta decide if they want this thing built or not. Spoiler alert, they don't. But actually, the people who live in the neighborhood right by there where they're trying to build it can't even vote in Atlanta. They're not eligible to sign the petition. Like when I was canvassing for the petition, they had to have an Atlanta address because it's technically outside of city limits. So that's, partly by the design, right? Because city council is not in any way responsible to these people, but people in the rest of Atlanta also don't want it, I promise. And we know that because over 100,000 people so far have signed the petition to get the referendum on the ballot to let people vote on Cop City. And that is actually twice the number of people who voted for Mayor Andre Dickens in the last election. So that's cool. I mean, speaking anecdotally, I talked to a lot of people outside the Kroger when I was there canvassing one day, and most of the people I talked to were against it. Nobody was for it. They were either like excited to sign the thing, or they're like, I don't want to talk right now. I'm shopping for groceries. Which, fair enough.
Right. Sparky wrote, "Cop used to protect and serve citizens. Nowadays, they view citizens as enemy combatants."
True. They do. So the referendum, the city is, obviously trying every dirty trick in the book to try and stop it. They are actually using a voter suppression tactic called signature verification, where, if the computer doesn't think that the signature you used on the petition matches the one you used on your driver's license or your ID, they're going to throw out your signature. So, if you have a baby on your hip when you were signing it,
Right.
or, some groceries in your arms,
I very frequently sign like I'm holding something, and
yeah, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
So they're trying everything to try and stop this referendum from happening, because they know that the people of Atlanta do not want this thing there. There will be a stop work injunction filed as soon as the referendum folks turn in the signatures on the 21st. But, they might try and build this thing anyway. Concrete could be poured as soon as next week. So what we have decided, what some of us in the movement have decided to do, is we're going to do our own stop work order, a people's stop work order, if you will.